Welcome back to Applied Wisdom. This is Module 3, Bad News is Good News. The last video introduced the idea that bad news is actually good news. Finding out quickly about problems means you can do something about them. This video is about porpoising, diving into your organization to seek out signs of trouble. Things never run perfectly, and finding out about and acting on bad news quickly is a great leadership practice. Learning and progress comes when problems are discovered and acted upon. But what if you haven't heard any news? No news can be a sign of bad news. It may mean that people or things are not moving forward. Without feedback, even top leaders have trouble assessing what's going on. To seek out signs of trouble, you can use an approach called porpoising. Think of porpoising as a bad news early detection system. Instead of waiting for people to bring you feedback, you're proactively diving deep into the organization, listening to people, and asking them what they see. Seek to understand by visiting teams and asking simple questions. What's going on here? Is the organization holding you back? Why are schedules slipping? What would you do to fix that? Think about a porpoise repeatedly diving deep into the ocean and then rising to the surface, gathering information at all levels. As a manager, periodically porpoise beyond your direct reports to talk to diverse groups at every level of your organization. Porpoising is designed to unearth valuable information, whether short-term or strategic. You can even porpoise at other organizations, within the community, or among other stakeholders and funders to gain valuable insights and leverage their knowledge and expertise. It's true, you trust your staff. It's also true that you do need to know the details of what's happening in your organization. There may be things that people are struggling with and trying to fix on their own, things you could easily help with. Porpoising expresses a culture of observant listening. It enables you to hear sounds of trouble before you learn about it through official channels. The key is to listen respectfully so that your employees are comfortable sharing what's going on. This way, you can receive actionable information. To maintain trust, you must also act on the information given. Be present and visible. If it's bad news, that's good news because it gives you a chance to address problems before they spiral out of control. Let's hear about early detection from an experienced leader.
Bad news is good news is such a relevant and I think wonderful subject matter for managers to delve into and ultimately find ways to get right. And what we try to do is have one-on-one communication with our senior leaders each week that affords in a, I hope, very safe space an opportunity to speak to what's working and what's not working. And we also try to reward and incentivize behavior where we call out in a very positive way where people have stepped up and shared if something's not going where it needs to be going. And bonus points if you can call that out and also lay out a solution in the next sentence. When we talk about incentives for bad news, I flip that on its head. I think about disincentives. You know, I have been part of cultures or even ancillary, in an ancillary manner connected to cultures where bringing up that sort of news usually doesn't end well for the person who brings it up. Having a system where that sort of behavior is not disincentivized, where people are just comfortable enough to say what isn't working, I think is very important. But what is key, and I should reinforce, is also trying to drive a mindset whereby you're not only calling out a problem, but you're calling out a solution.
Building a culture that embraces values such as bad news is good news doesn't happen overnight. It needs to be reinforced by rewarding early detection. Everyone in your organization should encourage frank discussions of bad news. Identify problems, and then emphasize finding solutions rather than assigning blame. Celebrate the solutions. Now it's your turn. Use the porpoising exercise in your workbook to think of ways to enrich and deepen your early warning system. Pick your top 3 ideas and move them into action. In the next video, we'll talk about handling bad news with your board of directors, a great way to build trust with them. See you there.